I wanted to show you a couple of the ways that I deal with tiles that are a little bit out of line. And this happens quite often when you're dealing with tile spacers. It's real easy for a little bit of thin set to get in between the spacer and the tile, and that might cause the tiles to take up more space than you had originally planned in your layout. To hold them down in place here, I've got a straight edge, and they're wedged in place off the top of the header with these pieces of plywood. And then over to the side, to keep things vertically aligned, I have another straight edge here, and I've got it held in place with just some scrap tile and a nail. And once this nail comes out, I can plug the hole up with a little butyl caulk. Now what I have here is a soap dish and two pieces of tile that'll be positioned on either side of it. Now, even though I have to backtrack and take these tiles out, it's much better to start setting with full tiles, and then before the thin set really hardens up, just pop those out and set these in. This way I don't have to fight with tiles sagging down, or how am I going to support the dish and the tiles. Now I'm back buttering these pieces that will go on each side. Slip them in position. I'll back butter the soap dish the same way. And because I know it's a little bit smaller than the opening, I'll shim it up with a couple of pieces of tile. This will prevent the dish from sagging down. I put it in position, lean into it, and shimmy it back and forth to get it seated. And to hold it in place until the thin set dries, a couple of pieces of adhesive tape will do. Here I'm spreading thin set for the accent stripe. A stripe can be a good way to break up a job, but its location is important. Later on, when we get to the pony wall, you'll see why I've chosen this location. Also worth noting here is that the tiles are extending above the mortar around the windowsill. I'll be filling this in later when I set the sill tiles. Here I'd like to show you another method for trimming tiles, using a snap cutter in combination with the biters. Now the offcut is too small to be broken off by the spreading wings on the snap cutter. So what I'll do is simply score through all these tiles and then remove the waste with the biters. Notice I'm prying more than biting through the tiles. Two things I like about this method. First, the cut edge is much smoother when produced by a scoring wheel than that of one made simply by the biters. And secondly, it's faster than marking off and biting individual tiles. Let's take a look at how I handle the narrow portion to the left of the window. The idea is to get as much thin set on without covering up the line. Now, like the sill tiles, the area to the right of these will be backfilled later. Here's one of the cuts I just made. And when I start putting in the spacers, of course I'm looking at the spot where each one is inserted, but as I'm doing it, I'm scanning the job as a whole as well, to make sure the entire panel is aligned. This hodgepodge is designed to carry the layout below the sill to the area to the right of the window. The straight edge ensures the tiles across the header will be level. And it provides me with a place from which I can hang the tiles until the thin set dries. Notice also I have the strips of tape I'll need already staged and handy. With this last piece set, all the field tiles on the back wall are completed. And to give you an idea of how long it would take in real time, I would normally spend about 30 minutes just to set the tiles.